Students, we are back with the second part of our poem A Roadside Stand. In the previous video, you have seen how the poet is telling about how the poet is depicting the plight of the poor people with their roadside stand. The poor people are waiting with their store, waiting for the rich people to stop their cars and buy their goods, the organic fruits and vegetables. But it is futile because these people, the poor people who want to feel some cash in hand, that the same money that helps cities to prosper and flourish, they themselves, the poor people, they themselves cannot feel them in hand. Why? Because of the indifferent attitude of the rich people. The rich people do not stop their cars for the monetary transaction. Okay. We should not forget that the poet clarifies that the poor people do not want donation or charity, they want pure transaction, they want pure buying and selling, right? Within with those people, rich people. But the rich people do not stop their cars for the transaction. Instead, they stop their cars, even if ever they stop their cars, they stop it to criticize how the roadside stand is ugly and destroying the landscape. And that is their complaint against the roadside stand. Unlike the poet, who says that his complaint is not his complaint is how the sorrow of these people are getting unsaid. Okay, these people cannot see the money and cannot see the glamorous life promised by the movies and the films, and the glamorous and the prosperous and good respectable life which are prevented. Okay, these people are not given by the political parties as well. Okay, coming to the next part. It is in the news that all these pitiful kin are to be brought out and mercifully gathered in to live in villages next to the theatre and the store where they won't have to think for themselves anymore. Now the poet is very what should we say? Not rude, but very true here. He gives the brutal reality of the brainwashing that happens with these poor people. Okay, so it is often enforced that these people, okay, these roadside stand people, they are to be bought out and mercifully gathered in to live in villages next to the theater and store. So they are brainwashed. Okay, they are convinced to relocate themselves. Okay, to relocate themselves to some villages which is adjacent to big theaters and stores. And they are convinced that if you relocate yourselves to those theaters and stores, to the vicinity of those theaters and stores, then you will not have to think about yourselves anymore. That means you will not have to think about whether the people will stop their cars or not. People will automatically come to you. Rich people are benevolent enough to come to you, and would be your store would be crowded because these people would come and buy things from you. Now here is the irony of the situation. Okay, the people are convinced, brainwashed. Okay, the poor people, that people will come if you relocate yourself from those secluded areas to the crowded areas, then your income will be more. But what is the cost of this? Like, they can relocate at the cost of what? At the cost of their own inconvenience, at the cost of their own discomfort, at the cost of their own loss. How? In a city lifestyle, okay, city life area, the villagers, they won't earn money as much as they could have in their own in their own rural area. Why? Because the living price, the living standard would go high. Since there would be many people would bargain much. Okay, people would not help him as much as he want the help. All right. So this is a kind of garb, this is a kind of facade, philanthropic facade. What is the meaning of philanthropy? Philanthropy means a person who does good for others. But here, this is a facade, that means this is a mask. These rich people, they are actually not philanthropists, they are actually not thinking about the welfare of the villagers. That is why the poet uses the oxymoron, very important, greedy good doers. So they are doing good apparently for the villagers, for the poor people, but they are greedy. They are exploiting the poor people. Beneficent beasts of prey. Beneficent, they are benevolent, they are doing good, but they are actually preying upon the poor people. That means exploiting the poor people. Swarm over, while beneficent beasts of prey swarm over their lives, enforcing benefits. Okay, as if they are helping, as if the rich, privileged people are generous enough to help them. Okay, because there will be crowd, but these benefits are calculated to soothe them out of their way. It's very important line. These benefits are calculated to soothe them out of their wits means the poor people the poor people fail to think rationally. Okay, their thinking ability is being destroyed. Their thinking ability is being suspended with the apparent benefits given by the greedy good doers and beneficent beasts of prey. They cannot think rationally, they cannot think properly whether whatever they are doing, it is their loss or their profit. In actuality, it is their loss, but they cannot see it because uh, their thinking is not being encouraged, it is being discouraged. Okay, and by teaching them how to sleep all day, that means if you are not thinking or reflecting on what you were doing, that means metaphorically you were sleeping all day, you were being lazy all day. Destroy their sleeping at night the ancient way. What does this mean? That by sleeping the entire day, they are actually destroying the traditional sleep cycle of the villagers. That is, villagers wake up in the early in the morning, they toil hard, they do physical labor, they labor hard during the day, and at night they have a very peaceful sleep. Okay, so they are these traditional sleep cycle is being destroyed because the poor people are being taught to sleep all day, taught to remain inactive all the day. Okay, either physically or mentally or emotionally, and hence the normal lifestyle is being destroyed. Okay, this is one interpretation. Another interpretation is how to sleep, they sleep all day, these people are being exploited by the rich people. Okay, coming to the next stanza. This is very easy, this stanza is very easy. Now, sometimes I feel myself I can hardly bear. The poet is saying that I cannot bear the pain. I cannot tolerate the pain that these people are having. I cannot tolerate the thought of this innocent desire in vain. Childish longing means innocent desire. What innocent desire? That the people with their cars, with their selfish cars, will stop near the window, near my roadside stand. Okay, they are having this innocent desire, but this is futile. That is, this is vain because the rich people will never stop their car. The sadness, look at the personification here. The sadness that lurks near the open window there, that waits all day in almost open prayer. So the poet can't bear the image of these people who are harboring, who are having innocent desire, okay, in their minds, that and who having with their innocent desire in their minds stand near the open window and pray, okay, all the day, the entire day. For what do they pray? They pray that I wish I could hear the squeal of brakes, the sound of the brakes, the sound of stopping cars. They pray to hear, they wish to hear the sound of the stopping cars, of all the thousand cars that pass. Okay, this is their intense, innocent desire which goes futile. Why? What is so in very simple terms, what is the desire? Just one of the cars out of the thousand selfish cars, I wish just one car would come and inquire about the prices of the vegetables and the fruits we are selling. Okay, but why is this futile? This is futile because one did stop but to plow up the grass, in using the yard to back and turn around. So the first car stops just to reverse its car. It uses the yard that is there, okay, in the back of the roadside stand of the shed, and they just take that space to reverse their car. Okay, number one, indifference towards the plight. Second, and another to ask the way to where it was bound. This is a very common relatable thing, even we do it sometimes. We stop our car not to buy their things but to ask the direction of a particular location. Now when we are stopping our car, the people with the roadside stand, they think that perhaps this sahab, okay, this man would come and buy the things, but instead it is futile because they ask the direction. And another very insensitive way is another to ask, could they sell it a gallon of gas? They couldn't. This crossly, they had none. Didn't it see? So this is the insensitive approach of the people who stop their cars in front of the vegetable and the fruit shed, asking, do you have fuel? So the poet is saying, can't they see that they don't sell gas or fuel? Okay, this is a vegetable roadside stand. This is a roadside stand that sells organic vegetables and fruits. Can't they see? Why are they so insensitive to ask whether they can provide some fuel or not? Okay, this paragraph, this stanza is very important for your boards. Okay, so the poet is uh, can't bear the pathos, the pain of these people who have the innocent desire, innocent prayer uh, for the selfish cars to stop by, but it is futile because the cars do stop, but for all these three insensitive reasons. Okay, last stanza. No, in country money, in country money, the country scale of gain, the requisite lift of spirit has never been found. Or so the voice of the country seems to complain. Okay, that means what? That in country money, not the city money, the country money, the rural money, in order to measure the development, in order to render the development in the country, the requisite lift of spirit, that means the required amount of effort by the bureaucrats, by the politicians, by the powerful people, have never been found. That means they have never done anything to lift up the economic condition of these people, to help these people have some gain economically. Okay, very important line. And then the poet says, I can't, he is so helpless. The poet is helpless. The poet is he cannot tolerate anymore. And what does he think? I can't help owning the great relief it would be to put these people at one stroke out of their pain. The poet says that I am very helpless. I cannot bear what kind of pain. I cannot bear to even think the kind of pain, the intensity of the pain that these people have to undergo, the poor people have to undergo. So he is thinking, he is automatically thinking about some kind of great relief that could be given to them. How? Some kind of action that would put all their pain and agony and pathos into end at one stroke. This is a very subtle line. At one stroke means what? Here, at one stroke means he is hinting at death, mass killing. Okay, now he is saying that it would be possible to end their pain at one stroke only with death. Okay, and of course this is not a very, no, this is a very unsettling thought, and this is very irrational. That is why the poet says, and next day, a day as I come back to the scene, I wonder how I should like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of my pain. The poet says the next day he realizes that what I was thinking the previous night, it was completely irrational. Okay, I had become very emotional, and hence I had made that irrational thought. I had had that irrational thought in my mind. So next day when I come back into the sane, that means when I come back to my sanity, when I come back to my rational being, now he is in the last two lines, he is addressing to the readers that I have thought, even for a fraction, even if it was for a fraction of second, but I had thought to put their pain, put out their pain with the element of death. Now the poet is asking us, the readers, that if I come to you, okay, then how you would put me gently out of my pain. What will you do so that I do not feel the pain anymore? He is posing this question to the readers. I wonder how I should like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of my pain. So the poet is hinting that will you also think of killing me? Or will you also think of the mass killing of the people so that they don't have to feel poor or deprived? They won't feel the pain again, and hence that would relieve me, the poet, as from the pain. Are you thinking this in the same line, or you were thinking something different? Here comes the competency question that can be asked in your CBSE exam, that what are the efforts that you can think of to eliminate the pain of the poor people, and hence subsequently the pain of the poet. So we can say, we can advertise about their roadside stand, we can uh, we can raise funds, fundraising, okay, so that we can help them renovate their roadside stand and make it appealing and attractive to the customers. We can drop posters and display posters all across, okay, and advertise. We can deliver speech in our assembly grounds about how important it is for us to eat organic vegetables, and how important it is to help those people who are waiting with their roadside stand. Okay, and you can think of as many possibilities as possible. All right, this is what the poem is about. I hope it is clear to all. Please go through the poem properly. In our next video on the roadside stand, actually there will be two more videos, I suppose. We will do the analytical part. All right, thank you, students.